The moment when I tested these new Inferno 8 essences, I knew that Demon Hunter is going to get a new meta. And welcome to my channel, this is GZ. So in this video, you guys are going to see the newer meta of Demon Hunter, which is going to make Demon Hunter slightly better, especially versus Wizard, Crusaders, and some other classes. It is also going to allow you to have the agility that you always want as a demon hunter, but on top of that, you will be dealing a lot more damage while moving around and have some nice survival ability. And on top of that, if you go with the most optimized gem setup with Demon Hunter, oh boy, you can do so much more than just deal damage. You'll be able to provide support still while you are focusing on being a DPS dude Malaka in matchmaking, but still you can end up having control badge and disable movement and move freely, and other peoples are going to have so much hard time getting you or try to put you down. Especially Crusaders are done for. They really cannot do anything against you with this setup, because even if you are not able to use your strafe, but you will still be able to launch auto attacks on them or keep safe distance while their immunities run out. Same can be said for Wizard. If you would see a Wizard squad trying to run around, you can disable their movement with the help of Folter Grasp, or you can just hit them with your escape if you have the escalating violence, and they will just get disabled and receive a lot of damage from you guys. And even though if you cannot actually focus on them, but still the Inferno 8 essences are going to help you versus Wizard, Tempest, Barbarian, or any other class that is going to try and chase you down, because Chakram and Smokescreen is going to auto attack them, and you can just keep on running away to save yourself, and they are going to receive a lot more damage. So I wanted to show you guys the gameplay first before we get into the builds, and honestly this is a slight improvement for Demon Hunter, but it is a lot more for fun, especially when other classes are doing so well. So Demon Hunter is somewhat now getting back and is getting survival ability. You guys can clearly see here I was fighting off against Barbs and Crusader, and I was lucky enough to survive here because my team showed up, but I was constantly getting shield because I made slight changes in my setup in order to best optimize these builds so I can have the best outcome, which you guys are seeing here in the match. But anyways, you enjoyed the match, and I'll see you guys in a bit with the builds. And yeah, Alright, shall we get into the builds? But first, let me show you what this looks like. So when you're running around, you will be launching these attacks, and when you use dash, those attacks are going to be somewhat going to attack twice. So this is actually really nice. However, the cooldown in Battleground is 5 seconds, so you have to time your attacks right when you need them. And starting off with our Paragon setup, as always, I am using Gladiator with Cheat Death, Hold Formation, Grizzle Veteran, To the Victor, and Overpower. So if you make more kill streak, then you are going to have more critical chance, and that is really good for Demon Hunter while you move around. The second thing is you need the movement stance, because we are not going to use our primary whatsoever, so having a 10% more movement speed, which is going to strive in Battleground, is actually still better. Then moving to the warband buff, I always go for the protector when I'm playing Battleground. Even when I am doing my PvE and I don't need a lot of damage, I would just select protector because it gives you bigger size, meaning more movement speed. So these are two things which I use for Paragon and Warband setup. And then going into my Reforge, this is what we have for the Reforge for my Demon Hunter. All the 8 gear pieces looks exactly like this with slightly different values, but although yes, damage taken from play reduced, damage taken while suffering loss of control decreased, duration of beneficial effect, attack speed, and damage to player. Also, you get jolt, which is quite good, not that great in my opinion. It's hard to notice, but yeah, this is what my Reforge setup looks like. And then getting into my secondaries, which is one of the most important parts for being Demon Hunter. As you guys see, I am trying to focus on upgrading my armor pen and armor. These days I'm trying to gain more resistance so dot damage doesn't stay longer on me. I am trying to reach at least 5k, and so far having somewhat alright luck, but it is a long process. And this is what the other stuff looks like. Resonance 4000 because I am using optimized gem setup. And for the gems itself, I am using Colossus engine. Amazing gem, gives you a lot of movement speed and skill damage, and since Demon Hunter is using all skills in this build, Colossus is an amazing gem. Then Misery Elixir, duration of the harmful effects you inflict is increased. I don't have too many harmful effects on this setup. I only have like Colossus engine, and that's pretty much about it. But the reason why I am using is because of rank 10 Abiding Curse, which slows down the movement speed of players and also their attack speed. So Misery Elixir works quite nicely. Also, I am using rank 1 uh I mean 1-star legendary gem rank 10 Falter Grasp with disable dashes. It is really amazing versus wizard and some other classes. So Misery Elixir is actually helping both Abiding Curse and then Falter Grasp, and also increasing the damage of rolling consequence or its harmful effect. And yes, I would like to use blood flow here, which I will look into later, but right now this is what my rest of the gems looks like. I could switch my bottle hope and get flowing blood flow in its place, which I might do later, but bottle hope is actually a good option as well. And yes, I do have a rank 6 blood flow, I just didn't bother to use it. Now I am still testing, so maybe I'll replace my bottle hope and put in the blood flow, so Misery Elixir have another gem to boost with the bleed effect. So that's that, and now let's get into our set items, which is one of the most important part of this build because it's all about dash and movement speed. So Gloom price is what you need, so you can have a lot of critical hit chance and increase damage every time when you use this, and trust me, your damage is going to be amazing. Also, I would suggest to go with the 4 piece of mount bank so you can get a lot of shield, because it's all about survivability and dealing auto damage. And with strafe, with this build setup, I don't have a lot of wisp on me, so this is the reason why I am still using 2 piece of Vitus Urge. Otherwise I would have gone with the 4 piece of mount bank and 4 piece of Gloom price. So this is what my gem setup looks like. And now talking about the skills, you guys know that I'm using smoke screen, strafe, still I'm using it's amazing, and then escape, our main skill to move around and break free from total loss of control, and spinning chakram. And getting into the essences, this is what I am using. As always, best discretion, irreplaceable for demon hunter, amazing. Escalating violence for escape skill, again amazing. You can either disable player movement when you hit them and they take damage as well, or you could just use it to move around, and best discretion is going to keep giving you a lot of cooldown when you receive damage, and mount bank is going to help you survive a lot. Then we have chaps of the acrobat, which is going to help you break free from total loss of control. And we are using Inferno 8 SN here, which is for smoke screen that allow you to launch auto grenade when you move around, so amazing. And for strafe, we are using 3 essences. Scur, one of my favorite, and I am using escape here, which is really good. It gives you shield every time you use escape dash, and also mount bank is going to give you some more shield. Then we are using turmoil for strafe, so you can actually launch missiles, and then unrelenting furor for the strafe, so you can actually last longer with your channeling. And finally we are using supply everlasting, which is for chakram, and it allow you to launch auto chakram, empowering you. And yeah, amazing. So this, in my opinion, is going to be the newer meta, which is a upgraded version for demon hunter that gives you a lot of survivability, agility, and ability to attack while you are moving, and you can still use strafe, and your range on strafe is amazing. So you can play safe or you can play really offensive with this gem setup, and you will not have a lot of survivability issue if the match is fair. But if you end up versus a lot strong player, then yeah, you're still going to have issue. But these builds are not going to let you down easy, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun. And this is it for the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, have fun, and bye guys.